Hi everyone, my name is Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. So my baby just turned 3 months old. So since my baby is no longer considered a newborn, I thought I should share with you guys what I consider to be my personal top 10 newborn must-haves. So these are just what worked best for us. There's some pretty random things in here, but this is just everything that I feel like we could not live without. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing we have is going to be our swing. This is actually the one that was gifted to us from one of my really good friends for my first son, Liam. So it's about 3 years old now, but so we still use it for my baby now, and it works perfectly fine. I believe it's the Fisher-Price brand. But yeah, we absolutely love this thing. We used it with my first son, like so much. The first week, my baby didn't really like it that much. We used some other stuff instead. But after that first week, he started to really like the swing. So that was a definite must-have for us. The next one is on the same kind of lines. We used the 4Moms Mamaroo, which was also a gift from Roger's aunt from my first pregnancy with Liam. So again, it's still good and we still use it. So what I like about this one that makes it different than like the normal swing that we use is that it's small and it's very lightweight, so I can pick it up and move it wherever I need to. The swing is so large, it kind of just sits in the corner of the living room next to the TV, and that's where it stays. We're not going to move it around anywhere. But with this Mamaroo, I can put it in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner or doing dishes. I can literally move it anywhere that I need to. It's so lightweight. I can take it up and down our stairs very easily, with him not in it, obviously. But it just makes it very easy to move around. So it doesn't have to be this one, because I know this one is expensive. We probably would not have gotten it if it wasn't a gift. But any kind of like portable bouncer is a definite must-have, because sometimes you need to put them in one and you're not in like the spot where your normal swing is, because those are not very portable. So next on our list is the same kind of concept again. When they're newborns, you can't really just place them anywhere. So you have your swing or your bouncer, but we also loved using our little like boppy lounger. I think this was like $40. So it's not too expensive. This isn't the original cover. I did buy a cover to go with it because again, we're using the same stuff that we used with my first son. So another tip for moms that are having multiple babies: do not get rid of your stuff after your baby grows out of it, because if you have more kids, you're going to use them and they don't go bad. They're still good. So that way you're not like, oh, my baby doesn't use this stuff anymore, let's give it away to Goodwill or sell it online. Like, that's all good if you're done having kids. But if you're planning on having more, keep your stuff. It saves you so much money, like so much money. So yes, our little boppy lounger, we would put this on the couch. We even put it on our kitchen counter, which might not be the safest thing, so I'm not like recommending that, but it's big enough. He was small enough where he's not rolling, he's not going to kick himself out of it. It's when he was very small. I wouldn't do that with him anymore. But during that newborn phase, they don't wiggle or move around too much to where you have to be concerned. But yeah, we would use this anywhere we needed to go, and that was awesome. So the next thing I have on my list is the Moby wrap. So again, this I got with my first son, Liam. And so it's just a really long baby wrap, which you wrap around you and you stick your baby in it. This one is great instead of like the backpacks for the newborn phase. So this one, you can like tuck their head into like the wrap. So you'll have it like this, and you can like tuck their head into it, because you know they have no head control when they're a newborn. And so this is really good. Also, if you have a small baby. So Gray, when he was a newborn, was only 5 pounds. And so a lot of those backpacks, like the one we have, is an 8-pound minimum. So I never used that with Liam because he never got to the 8-pound minimum when we needed it. And so I got this, and it worked perfectly. And I mean, same with Gray, like when we needed it when he was little. When we baby wear the most is when they're like a newborn. And so I have small babies and they don't meet that minimum weight requirement. So these are awesome. I love this. I'm sure any kind of like wrap would be fine. It doesn't have to be specifically the Moby wrap. That's just what I personally have. Okay, so the next one is only if you're breastfeeding. I know some moms just choose to do formula or choose to exclusively pump right away, and that's totally fine. But if you are like breastfeeding nursing, I highly recommend the My Breast Friend pillow. So this thing is amazing. This part wraps around you, so you have like back support, and this is like a hard foam, so it's just, you literally wrap it around. It has a little clip, so you clip it and your baby like lays perfectly right here. It's the most comfortable one. I have the regular like boppy pillow that is like the half circle kind of thing, and I did use that one a little bit, but I use this one so much. I love this thing. I feel like I couldn't have lived without this one. So the next one is also feeding related. So I do exclusively pump right now. So before having this baby, I planned on exclusively nursing and then pumping, you know, every once in a while just to build up a stash for when I go back to work. And so I didn't really plan on having like a pump or like bottles or anything like that. I did buy the Willow breast pump to do that, and I want to love that pump so much. I just don't really love it that much, at least not yet. I'm trying to get myself to get used to it. So when I was about, I want to say 5 days postpartum, I was so engorged. Like my baby could not wrap his mouth around my boob because it was rock solid. It was so painful. I was having such a hard time. And I ended up going on Target.com in the middle of the night and ordering for pickup in the morning a breast pump. So because I couldn't get that Willow to work. And so the one I use is the Spectra S1, and I absolutely love this pump. It is amazing. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but compared to the Willow, it's not. I think it was like, I'll put right here how much it is. I think it was like $160. But you have the S1 or the S2. I did get the S2 as well, just because this one was out of stock. So the one that I originally bought was the S2. And the only difference is that one is completely like you are relied to sit next to a plug. You're plugged into the wall basically, like you can't move. And with a newborn and a toddler, that's so hard to do. So as soon as this S1 came back in stock, I made sure to grab that. Because you charge it up and you can literally like take it and do anything. We're potty training, and my 3-year-old loves to tell me he has to go potty in the toilet as soon as I start pumping. So this was a must-have for that, just having the portability. But also just as a newborn, like you don't think, if you're planning on exclusively nursing, you don't think you're gonna need a breast pump. But I'm telling you, like, to relieve that engorgement, and also like we ended up having feeding issues that we didn't know were gonna happen. And so I'm just really glad that I had it on hand and I was able to build up that supply. And yes, I highly recommend getting a good breast pump. Even if you think you're not going to use it, you really just don't know what's going to happen. So if the Spectra or electric pump like that is too expensive, honestly, the Lansinoh manual pump, I think it was like $24 at Target. Again, I'll link that. With the exact price, I'll look it up. But yeah, it's the Lansinoh brand is the one that I like. It is amazing. Like I used this with my first son Liam, and honestly, like I forgot how much I loved this pump. The only downside is it's not hands-free. You do have to like hold your boob and like manually pump it. But I actually exclusively use this now for, I think about 3 weeks now. I've been about 2 weeks now. I've been exclusively using this pump for like my main pump. Like I use the Spectra very rarely now, and I love that pump, but I just feel like I get so much more milk from this pump. And I think it's because I'm also like massaging my breast at the same time. But yeah, I like doubled my milk supply using this pump, and it's so cheap, and it's like super portable. Like you can throw this in your diaper bag and it's so easy. So I highly recommend, if you don't get like a big pump, get this one. I think Medela has a manual pump as well. I've never tried that, but I love the Lansinoh one. Okay, so the next thing on my list is also on the same lines of feeding, and that is bottles. So again, I plan on exclusively nursing him, and so I didn't really think about getting bottles. So you need bottles. You never know what's gonna happen. It's best just to have them. So I just plan on pumping milk and then putting it in the freezer, and then a couple months down the line when he needs, you know, to start having bottles, we'll get bottles then. These are the same brand that I used with my first son, Liam. I love these bottles. These are the Como Tomo bottles. They are like silicone. They're really squishy. They're super easy to clean because they're so wide. But it's basically shaped like a breast. So if you're introducing bottles and you still want to continue breastfeeding, that's what these ones are made for, so they don't cause as much nipple confusion. So I do love these bottles. So the next thing on my list is kind of random, but that is going to be just a baby bath. I think we got this one at Target. Again, we got this one for my first son, Liam, 3 years ago. So save your stuff. It doesn't go bad. Most of it doesn't go bad. But yeah, so this is just a baby bath because you can't just like put your newborn in a bathtub. If you're giving him like a sponge bath or something, like you don't want to just be like holding them and doing it, like they're so fragile. It's just so much easier just to set them like in this bath and just do it like that. Okay, so the next thing I have is going to be these little onesies, but it's the ones where the sleeves turn into mittens. I love these so much. I don't know what it is with newborns like taking off their socks or their mittens, but they're always somehow taking them off and they're getting lost. So I found out about these with my first son, and I ordered a whole bunch of like different kind of onesies that had these because I knew how much of a struggle it was to have him have the mittens on. And so I got a whole bunch with the mittens this time around. And I did try like regular mittens on him when I just put a regular outfit on him, because I think it was a t-shirt outfit I put on him. And so I put regular mittens on him, and within like 3 minutes they were gone. So he had taken them off and thrown them on the floor, and yeah, so I highly recommend getting some of these. Okay, so last but certainly not least on my list is something a little bit expensive. This is about $300. So this is very pricey. Again, I got this with my first son. And that is going to be the Owlet monitor. So this is amazing. I love this thing so much. If I could recommend one thing for any mom, not even a new mom, just any mom to get, is this. And yes, it's very expensive. It's $300, but it is FSA and HSA eligible. So if your employer offers like those kind of benefits, try and see if you can pick it up. It's amazing. So basically it's just this little sock. So you charge it on here. This plugs into the wall, so you'll have it like next to your bed or something. But this is just a little sensor. It's a pulse ox, so it measures their pulse and their oxygen level. So you'll put it on their foot, wrap it around, and then it's for when they're sleeping, and you'll turn on this and it will alert you if their oxygen or their pulse gets to an unsafe range. It'll set off an alarm. It's amazing. I love it so much. The only like negative thing I have to say about it is if you have a very small baby, the smallest sock size, I think it's like 7 or 8 pounds, I think is what it said. So when he was like brand new and he was like 5 pounds, the monitor went off like a red alert like 13 times in one night one time. It was insane. And it was literally just because it did not fit him. His foot was way too small. So that's the only negative thing I have to say about it is if they're really small, it probably won't fit right. But that thing's amazing. I sleep so much better knowing that if something were to happen, then I would be alerted. And there's an app on your phone, so you can literally look at it whenever you want to, and it has like logs of like how they slept. It's really cool. We do co-sleep. Like I have a bassinet here, but I'm gonna be completely honest, he does not. That's not in my must-haves because he does not sleep in it. So all of these things are things I personally actually think are must-haves. Bassinet for most people probably would be a must-have, but we don't use it. He sleeps in bed with us, which is another reason why this is so amazing. So that is everything I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to hit subscribe. I post videos every Saturday about lifestyle and motherhood, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.